गंगा पंकिल सज्जटाय नमः। ओम गगनांबर संवीताय नमः। ओम गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः। ओम वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ओम वदनाब्जजिताब्जश्रिये नमः। ओम वदनेन्दुस्फुरद्दिशाय नमः। ओम वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ओम वरवीणोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ओम वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ओम वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ओम तेजःभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ओम तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ओम विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ओम तेजोमय निजाश्रमाय नमः। ओम दमितानंग संग्रामाय नमः। ओम दरहासजितांगनाय नमः। ओम दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ओम दरिद्रधनसेवधये नमः। ओम क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ओम क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ओम क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ओम क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ओम नानाभरणमुग्धांगाय नमः। ओम नारीसम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ओम नादब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ओम नागभूषणभूषिताय नमः। ओम मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ओम मूर्तामूर्तजगत्पपुषे नमः। ओम मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ओम मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ओम तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ओम तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ओम तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ओम तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ओम तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ओम तपनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ओम यमसन्नुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ओम यमसंयमसंयुताय नमः। ओम यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ओम यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ओम मंदारहाररुचिराय नमः। ओम मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ओम मंदस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ओम मधुराधरपल्लवाय नमः। ओम मंजीरमंजुपादाब्जाय नमः। ओम मणिपट्टोल्लसत्कटये नमः। ओम हस्तांकुरितचिन्मुद्राय नमः। ओम हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः। ओम हंसजप्याक्षमालाढ्याय नमः। ओम हंसेद्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः। ओम मेरुशृङ्गतटोल्लासाय नमः। ओम मेघश्याममनोहराय नमः। ओम मेधाङ्कुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। ओम मेधाफक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः। ओम धार्मिकान्तर्गुहावासाय नमः। ओम धर्ममार्गप्रवर्तकाय नमः। ओम धामत्रयनिजारामाय नमः। ओम धर्मोत्तममनोरथाय नमः। ओम प्रबोधोद्गारदीपश्रिये नमः। ओम प्रकाशितजगत्र्याय नमः। ओम प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः। ओम प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः। ओम ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः। ओम ज्ञातृज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः। ओम ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्यांगाय नमः। ओम ज्ञातृज्ञादिकुलागताय नमः। ओम प्रपन्नपारिजाताग्र्याय नमः। ओम प्रणतार्थ्यब्धिवाडवाय नमः। ओम भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः। ओम प्रपंचहितकारकाय नमः। ओम यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः। ओम यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः। ओम यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः। ओम यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः। ओम छत्राधिपतिविश्वेशाय नमः। ओम छत्रसामरसेविताय नमः। ओम छन्द्रशास्त्रादिनिपुणाय नमः। ओम छलजात्यादिदूरगाय नमः। ओम स्वाभाविक सुखैकात्मने नमः। ओम स्वाभाविकसुखैक ओम स्वानुभूतिरसोददये नमः। ओम स्वाराज्यसम्पदध्यक्षाय नमः। सम्पदध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम स्वात्माराममहामतये नमः। ओम स्वात्माराममहा ओम हाटकाभजटाजूटाय नमः। ओम हासोदस्तारिमण्डलाय नमः। ओम हालाहलोज्ज्वलगलाय नमः। ओम हार्दग्रन्थिविमोचकाय नमः। ओम श्री मेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ओम श्री दयानंद सद्गुरु गुरवे नमः। Om Shri Mahesha Nanda Guru Satgurave Namaha. Om Shri Maheshananda Satgurave Namaha. See how much time do we have? Oh yeah, we have a few minutes. So let us review a couple of the Ashtotara stotras. I think we had covered up to number 7, which was Om Navamanikya Maladhyaya Namaha. Look at a couple more. So number 8, Om Navachandra Shikhamanaye Namaha. So pranams to Dakshinamurti Shiva, who has the ever new moon as the crushed jewel on his head. Navascha asau chandrascha saha eva shikhayam manihi yasya saha tasmai namaha. So he gives the commentary on that. Bhagavan Shivaha vriddhi hlasarasa rahitanam nitya nutanam chandrakalam shirasi dhatte iti upasana shastre prasiddham. So he says it is well known in the scriptures that Lord Shiva has a moon that is ever new without any changes in luminosity on the head. So let me just finish this and then a couple of other words on this. Bhagavata shirasi chudamani rupena sthitaha amrita kirana chandraha swakiranaihi atmanam aplavayati iti upasakaha manasi bhavayet. Tena upasakasya manaha prasannam jnana yogyam cha bhavati. Manasaha adhishthanat devata chandra khalu. So he translates that is that a meditator should contemplate in the mind as though the moon, adorned as the crushed jewel, is flooding him or her with the rays of the nectar. Thereby the meditator attains the composure of the mind fit for gaining self-knowledge. As we all know, the moon is the presiding deity of the mind. So we'll start with the very last statement. As we all know, the moon is the presiding deity of the mind. So the Sanskritam for that is Manasaha Adhisthana Devata Chandraha Khalu. So the word Khalu means it's well known. It's very not obvious, but well known. So this, I think we should, I just wanted to point out something. Why is the moon the presiding deity of the mind? Now this we should understand. And in fact, on the face of Shiva, both the sun and the moon are adorned. The face is adorned by both the sun and the moon, both of them. So this we need to understand why. And therefore from there we need to understand why is the moon the presiding deity of the mind. The reason is this. The Surya represents the self-effulgent Atma. That is our nature, Swarupa. This self-effulgence is something that if we can appreciate that, just that word, those two words, self-effulgent, or one word really with a hyphen, we're done. I am self-effulgent means that I am existing as I am without the help of anything, without depending on anything. So the symbol of the Atma is the Surya. The Surya in the Bhautika world, in the physical world, is also not completely is not independent, in the sense that it is still dependent on the burning of the fire within itself. But as a symbol, it is in fact an accurate representation of the self-effulgence of the Atma. Because the Surya doesn't need anything to light it up. It lights itself and it lights everybody else. This is the nature of the Atma. Now let's come to the moon. The moon represents the mind. How? Because the mind enjoys the reflection of the Atma. So this is something to really meditate on. That your thoughts are not independent of you. They depend on you. And they dance around for a while, and then they dissolve in you. But you don't dissolve. You're still the same. You're self-effulgent. But the mind is not self-effulgent. It is conscious because of you as the conscious person. That's why the moon is the presiding deity of the mind. And so the Navamanikya, I am not quite sure. There must be some significance of the Navamanikya, means the very small version of the moon, the new moon. There must be some significance. I am not aware of that, what it is. But and in fact, it's interesting. The Muslims use the new moon as their symbol, for Eid and so on and so forth. This is what they do. So there must be some connection to the newness of the moon. But regardless of the newness of the moon is a very good symbol of the mind. And it's not just a kind of like a theoretical, not just a theoretical symbol. There is actually a connection between the moon and the mind. And another thing is that the moon is worth meditating on, because it is very pleasant to look at and very cool, calm. You cannot look at the sun, you'll burn your eyes. But you can look at the moon, and it delights everybody. And so that is situated on the face of that's very close to Shiva. So the face of the Shiva should be seen as the person's personality, even though the whole world is his body. Remember that we had gone through this. I was telling you about this, that Swami Maheswaranji is the one that really educated me on this part. That how is it that Krishna says that I am the Ganga of all the rivers, I am the Himalaya of all the mountains. That means that he is not the rest of the mountains, not the rest of the rivers. I had a question about that. How is he singling out only a few things here and there? Omkara is the ucharana of the whole thing. And Swami Maheshananji had pointed this out, that even though a human person has a body, but you don't really recognize the person from the back or the arms or the torso or the feet or anything. The face is the one that epitomizes the person. You see? And so in that manner, it's not as though Shiva is not all-pervasive, but the murti of the Shiva, which has some key things associated with it. One of them will come later on, is Nagaraja. So one of them is the snake. And the snake, as we will see later on, represents a Shakti. It's a very powerful Shakti. Quiet. Very quiet. Moves around like a snake. And very powerful. Swami Dayanand used to say that the snake is a very good symbol of the power of Shiva, because it moves silently and can kill you if you abuse it, you step on it, and it has a power to be very powerful thing, but it's a Shakti. So going back to it, the face of the Shiva is adorned with some of the key things, and one of them is the symbology of the mind. That is the beauty of it. So this is what it means. Om Navachandra Shikha Manaye Namaha. My namaskara to Shiva, who is adorned with the new moon on his head. So that's the sort of the meaning of this. I think we have time for just one. I spent so much time talking about any one of them, I should just quickly go through. Anyway, I think we'll do the rest some other time. Nandita Shesha Mauni Indraya Namaha. Next time. So I wanted to... Let's do one thing. Okay, anyway, let's just do the opening prayer first. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Guru Radmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Gukarastvandhakaro Vai Gukarastvanivartakaha Andhakar Nirodhit Kurudhya Vidhiyate Sadashiva Samarambha Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karamavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us chant verse number 7 of the Upanishad itself. This is a verse that I think we should commit to memory. We should just remember this is as a kind of like a symbol of the whole Upanishad. Nantav Pragyam, Bahish Pragyam. So let's chant with that and then we'll go to the Karika. Nantah pragyam, na bahishpragyam, no bhayatah pragyam, na pragyanaganam, na pragyam, na pragyam, adrishtam avyavaharyam, agrahyam alakshanam, achintyam avyapadeshyam, ekatma pratyayasaram, uprapancho upashamam, shantam, shivam advaitam, chaturtham manyante, sa atma, sa vijñeyaha. So so let's also chant. Let's see, where is my, yeah. Let us chant. Let's chant the karikas that we were doing. We'll start with number 19, 20, 21 and 22. We'll chant 4 of them, 19 through 22. Pranadibihi pranadibhi ranantaischa bhavai reitaik vikalpitaha bhavai mayaisha tasya devasya yaya sammohita swayam prana iti pranavidaha bhutani iti chat. I always have a problem with this. Bhutani iti chav tadvidaha. Guna iti gunavidaha. Tattvani iti cha tadvidaha. Pada iti padavidaha. Vishaya iti tadvidaha. Loka iti lokavidaha. Deva iti cha tadvidaha. Veda iti vedavidaha. Yajna iti cha tadvidaha. Bhokte chittat bhoktravidaha. Bhokte iti cha bhoktravidaha. Bhojyam iti cha tadvidaha. So I think, what would be very good to do is to really specialize on this Upanishad. You should know this Upanishad cold, and that means really going over it again and again and kind of understanding the full picture of what is being said. What I would recommend is that you do this from time to time and with some time period in between. Do it now as we're doing, then sleep over it for almost a year and a half, then go visit it again. And then pretty soon, because this is an important, this is what they say, that all the brahmacharis and swamis, they really should focus in at the very end of their study. This is a very This is kind of like a distilled part of it. And this we should understand why the Mandukya is so distilled. And that is that ultimately what we have to do in our life, either this life or some life, hopefully this life itself, what we have to do is to understand our lives as a structure. How I take on different stages. How I am in different movies. I am in the stage of different movies, and I am not. Those are all just roles that I play. And Turiya is the actor who does not, as Swami Paramarthananda says, there is, in this book that I'm reading, he says there is a green room. He uses that as a very interesting. So what it means is that whatever play you are playing in, with the roles that you're playing, if you then you retire into the green room. And the green room represents where you take off your makeup and you remove the clothing that you are wearing as part of this play. And then you stay as you, not without any role. And so the Mandukya Upanishad says that please understand that you are playing some roles. This we don't understand. We think whatever stage right now, we think this is who I am. This is me. This also is a role. Is something, someone is playing Turiya is playing the role. And what I have to see is that I am simultaneously playing 3 movies, roles in 3 movies. Simultaneously, exactly like these Amitabh Bachchans that have multiple movies that they're making. So from 8 o'clock in the morning to maybe 11 o'clock, they go to set number 1. Then they come home and then they go to the green room and take off their makeups and so on, and have lunch and so on. Then at 2 o'clock, they have to go to another movie, completely different movie. They have got to look at the script. What am I supposed to do here? Oh, yeah, okay. Like that. Or perhaps not on that day, maybe the next day. So they have to timeshare it. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're timesharing between our 3 different roles. And those are Swapnavastha, Jagratavastha, and Sushupti Avastha. And we are in none of them, really speaking. This is what we have to understand. Now, we have a hard time accepting it, but this is the truth. So we might as well start on the whole process. You may not really grasp it all. It may take a lifetime, or it may take just a day, who knows? If you grasp it, then you're done. This is the truth. So this is the objective of this Upanishad, and we have to really grasp it. And to help us grasp it, Gaudapada Ji's Karika is given, which we will resume in a minute. And so there are some important things to keep in mind. This is, of course, the most important thing, that really Turiya is none of the roles. When you say I am a human being, you are not a human being. You are a devata, self-effulgent, never changing. This is what you are. But I don't know, really, I'm ready to accept it. Accept means I don't grasp it. I can have some shraddha, but I'm not sure that I see it. You'll see it. You'll see it one day if you continue to do that. So the role playing is one of the aspects of it. Another aspect of this is the one that we are now currently doing. And as you know, that aspect of it is all related, is that if you don't know something very well, but you are faced with it, but you cannot really put it very clearly, then your mind goes haywire. This is the second concept. So here the example is that of the rope and the snake. If the rope is not visible to you at all, then you have no haywireness. But if it is visible to you, but not the way you should see it, then your mind says, oh my gosh, what is this? Is this a hose? This is that. This is what's, because I found two snakes in our backyard. One I killed, and the other one my gardener told me that this is a king snake, and it is very harmless. It is very harmless. It doesn't do anything. So the second one, I just said, wonderful. Sorry about it. That's okay. Just be on. This is your place as well. But when I go for a walk in the evening, which I do late at night, I put some lights on and then I walk for about 15-20 minutes after a meal in my backyard. Now I'm very careful because I don't want to step on it, because that might really bite me. And this guy was telling me that if the king snake bites you, you don't die from it, but you can get an infection. You can get an infection, you have to take some antibiotics, this, that, or the other. And I don't want to go through all of that. At least now I won't die. But I don't want to. So I have a lot of things on my backyard, leaves, and there's hoses that we are using to water it. There's a lot of things going on. So my mind is not sure what I have to now look at the ground because of the snakes there. Really, this is a fact. Anyway, the rope and snake example is a very good one because so this is, if you look at this word called prapancha upashamaha, upashamam. This is why I wanted to just go back to this. Ekatma pratyayasaram prapancha upashamam shantam shivam advaitam chaturtham manyante. This is the Turiya. So what is being said is, in the concept that we are currently doing with the help of the Karika, that if you don't know something clearly, your mind goes haywire. Haywire in the sense that it proposes, I think it is this, I think this is the truth, I think that is the truth. This is what happens. But if you see something as it is, this is what is called tattvam. So tattvam means tasya bhavam, as it is. Then your mind is shantam, prapancha upashamam. Prapancham is a good word because prapancha means the variety of thoughts, the variety of situations, the variety of experiences that we have. It's called prapancham. And prapancha upashamam means that these thoughts resolve. Because now when you say, oh, this is just a rope, before that your mind was creating all kinds of images. But once you know it, they all disappear. You can't even remember anything. It's all gone. Doesn't matter. So this is what will happen to us when we really understand the Atma. But if we don't understand the Atma, myself, Atma means myself, then I am searching. I am visualizing. I'm doing different things. And so please, we should see that our life, how I am wandering around in this forest of thinking, all kinds of things. And all those kinds of things are going to be are going to get started very soon with the Karika. Veda iti Veda Vidaha. All of that we will see. But what it means is that all these are an expression of your life when you are not sure of exactly who you are. This is the concept that we should be very clear about. So two things here. So one is that the role playing, and the other one is that the nature of my experiences are exactly like the nature of not knowing what this thing is. And it is very natural for the Ishvara to create this. This is a very natural thing, that if you are not sure of thing, your mind goes searching. If you're sure of it, then it all resolves. Prapancha upashamam. So this is the concept that we are studying. So now there is a listing of the kind of things that people think about. This is the Satyam, this is the Satyam, this is the Satyam. Not the way it is, but this is it. So there is a listing, starting with verse number 20. Prana iti prana vidaha. It's going to be a huge thing, and we'll try to go through rather quickly. I'm not sure that we will have time to go through this. So here in the Swami Maheshananji's book, what he has done is beautiful summary of all this. He represents the viewpoint of the various ones, like this prana vidaha. The ones who feel that prana is everything. I'll go into that in a minute. But then he says why that is not true. And he goes into a lot of arguments as to why these alternatives don't make any sense. And that we may not be able to do because it requires a lot of time to do all of that. So what I propose to do is to actually give you a listing of all the proponents and give you, in some cases, the answer, but in other cases I may not have the time to give you the answers. Anyway, with that apology, let's start with it. So let's start with it. Number 20, prana iti prana vidaha. So when you say prana iti means prana is the truth, is the tattva. Everything you can add the word tattva. Tattva means the truth. This is reality. This is it. This is it. This is would be the good English translation. This is it. Prana iti, prana vidaha. Vidaha means the ones who are studying the science of prana, who are deep thinkers. So in our literature also, even the people who are not Advaitins, they are also rishis. So Kapila and Gautama and all of these people, they are also called rishis. Rishis in the sense that they have a lot of insight into things, but somewhere their final answer they went wrong. So, but we respect their. If you were to meet them, their brilliance will amaze you. But their brilliance is not well placed. This is why we should seek the refuge. I don't know what to do. I'm not smart enough to figure this out. Can you please tell me what I should do? This is the important thing. But then we have to also reason it with our own mind up to that point. We may not be completely brilliant, but at least we should follow the reasoning of the Shruti. So this is the Shruti and the Yukti. But anyway, prana vidaha, I'm just giving you the general meaning of the word vidaha, prana vit. Prana veti iti prana vit. So that means that people who are experts, this is the better translation, are experts on prana. They say prana is the truth. And just finishing of this, bhutani iti cha tatvidaha. That no others feel that it is bhutas, particles, as we will see in a minute. Particles. Those are the people who feel that is the truth. Gunaha iti gunavidaha. That really, it is really the qualities that really determine the truth of the whole thing. And tattvani iti cha tatvidaha. And then we will see, that's a technical word, tattvani, that there are some basic materials. Those are important things. So they are like that. So this is number 20. Similarly, we'll see number 21, 22. Pada iti padavidaha, Vishaya iti tadvidaha, Loka iti lokavidaha, Deva iti cha tadvidaha. So with that, here is a brief introduction. Rather quick, but we have to do this because I don't have the time to, because I could spend a class on each verse, maybe 2 or 3 classes on each verse, but let's not do that. So let's start with Pranavidaha. And I don't know if there's any English books that are as voluminous and as clear as this one that Swami Maheshananji has. I'm not sure of it. There may be some. So if you want, you can go through that. But if you know Hindi, then you are in luck, and you can just do this later on when you have more time. Prana. So this is what is called. So prana means life. When a person is alive or not. Movement. How do you know the thing is alive? It's exactly the same thing. You may have some bug on your window, and the bug is quietly sitting down. So you're not sure whether it is dead or alive. But when it moves, you know it is alive. So this is what is called prana, movement, life. So now when you do the research, they say that Hiranyagarbha is the source of all pranas. So prana comes from the top. Hiranyagarbha gives the prana. And then the individual jivas, when they become qualified, they can get the prana. That means that there are different kinds of being born. You can be born in somebody's garbha, or it could be in an egg. But whatever it is, you are given prana. And the prana already exists, but you get it for a particular life. So here it means, the study of prana means that the Hiranyagarbha is the truth. Okay? So now let us look at, very briefly, how this is not true, but it is seen to be true. So let us look at what is seen to be true. So there are people who think that Hiranyagarbha is the source of prana, which it is, but not entirely, as we will see. That is the source. And here Swami Maheshananji points out that really speaking, and in fact, there are Vedas which is called Hiranyagarbha Yoga. 12,000 sutras are there that point out the fact that Hiranyagarbha is the source. And he also points out, Swami Maheshananji does, that Patanjali's sutras are an abridged form of the Hiranyagarbha sutras. So Patanjali Maharshi also believes that prana is really everything. This is why in yoga, in pranayama, that is the most important one. The control of it, and so on and so forth. It's all based on prana. Okay. Then he points out that, Swami Maheshanji points out that both the Christians and Islam also adhere to this view. They call it differently. They don't call it Hiranyagarbha, but they are really offshoots of Hiranyagarbha. How? This is an important thing to see. So they see, so there is a word called tatastha. Tatastha. Swarupa and tatastha. Okay, so you know this by now, but let me remind you of it. So tatastha lakshanam and swarupa lakshanam. And Swami Dayanandji had given this very beautiful example. He said, suppose you have lots of houses that you're looking at, and they all look alike. In fact, if you go from San Francisco airport, in the old days when these houses were done in Delhi city, they all are just boxy houses, they look alike. So supposing you're bringing up a friend from the airport and you say, this is my house. He says, which one? So now how to tell, because he's driving fast, there's like 50 houses. You cannot say number 27. So what he says is, hey, do you see that tree over there? That big one on the tall one? He says, yes. The one left to it is my house. Then he says, oh. Okay. Then the drishti of this friend, now he describes the house itself, which has a particular color outside. It's a double story. And now they're discussing, so you have this double story home. Yes, he said, I'm going there. So the double storyness is the Swarupa Lakshana. And the fact that it got identified with the tree is Tatastha Lakshana. So Tatastha means that one who is unconnected but is useful to understand what it is. And the reason I'm saying all this, so Tatastha means, if you look up the dictionary also, it means unconnected, means separate. But in Vedantic sense, it means something which is necessary for you to understand, because otherwise you cannot understand which house. But if there's a crow sitting on it, you'll say that one. Now the crow and the house have nothing to do with each other, but because of their proximity, it is useful. Why we say this? Because this is important to see. Christianity and Islam as the two most prominent ones, but lots of others also, including ones in India also. Even Vaishnavas, they feel Ishvara is a Tatastha Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana. That means this has an enormous implication. What do you mean by enormous? Hiranyagarbha is the Swarupa Lakshanam of prana, and Ishvara is the Tatastha Lakshana. That means the Ishvara blesses it, but is unconnected to Hiranyagarbha. And so, Swami Maheshananji points this out. They feel, he has studied Christianity and Islam much more than I have. So he says that they believe that the breath of life is given to you by God. And this is all Hiranyagarbha, just like there are offshoots of Hiranyagarbha, which is true. Hiranyagarbha is the one that gives the prana and so on. But they feel God is separate from it. This we say, what are you talking about? No. So we say that Hiranyagarbha also is a creation of Ishvara. Why would we say that? Because the moment you say that Ishvara is separate from Hiranyagarbha, or whatever their belief system is, and so on, you limit God. It means that Hiranyagarbha is separate from Ishvara, and in fact, I think one of the again, I just want to go through the next one. The biggest issue that Vedanta solves, that Ishvara is both the Nimitta Karanam and Upadana Karanam. Whereas in this one, Ishvara is the Nimitta Karanam, but not the Upadana Karanam. If you're not the Upadana Karanam, then you have lots of problems. And Swami Mahesanji points out something very funny, which I'd heard about this. So he says that in Christianity, in the Bible, see, that's another problem. I think if you look at Bible and the sayings of Buddha and so on, we're not sure that they are accurate representation, because these are all political. They came up much later on. And it was shaped to get people into churches and so on. I have no idea. Anyway, he says, the Bible says, God says, made a man first. Then he said, oops, how are we going to propagate? We need a female. But I have not made a female. He made a male first. So then he was given an anesthetic, and one of his parts, haddi means a bone, was taken away, and from that bone a female was created. So what it means, anyway, the stupidity of this, whatever it is, but the point is that it is oops. And the fact that I'm limited, I didn't know this. So this is a symbology of the fact that Ishvara and Hiranyagarbha are two separate ones. No, cannot do that. So he says, prana iti prana vidaha. And then the answer given is that if you do that, you violate the infinity of Ishvara. You put him down. That cannot be. That's not possible. Anyway, so that's all that was given in here. Then the next one is Bhutani Chittadvidaha. So Bhutani is again there is a huge explanation of this by Swami Mahesanji, represents the scientists. And the scientists say everything is made out of particles. In other words, the whole reality is what you see. How the particles relate to each other, how they get started, and so on. And in fact, the thoughts are created by the mind. Thoughts are created by the brain. So the brain is what is called the epiphenomenon. mind is the epiphenomena of the brain. In other words, the brain is the main thing. What do you mean by brain? Particles. There's some gray thing in the mind, which is true. And that creates the thoughts, is all the scientific view. And so there we completely reverse it. That really speaking, the brain is created to think. It's not as though you first came up with the brain and you say, okay, let's see what we've got. Oh, there's some thoughts now created from it. It is completely reversed. And so through the Karana Sharira and Sukshma Sharira and Sthula Sharira, so Sthula Sharira is a Karya. So the brain is a Karya, not a Karana. So anyway, I'll go on to this. But he says that Bhutani iti cha tadvidaha, and so all the Vaisheshikas, the old Vaisheshikas, the Nayayikas, and now the latest one is these scientists, the latest scientists and so on. They all say Bhutani. Everything is Bhuta. And so here Swami Meshanji points out that, the old days we saw there was the Pancha Mahabhutas. Some of them don't count the Akasha as one because it is not visible. So some of them say 4, but the Vedas say that the 4. So now the element table, they have come up with, I think they keep on discovering some new elements. And so now it's like 120 or so. Hydrogen, oxygen, etc., etc. They are nothing but a segmentation of these 5. These are the Pancha Mahabhutani that can never be subdivided anymore. Those are the Akasha, Vayu, Agni, etc. Anyway, so they all feel that particles, Bhutani, is the truth. What about the person who's looking at the Bhutani? Oh, that I don't know, but this, no, that's not what it is. The Bhutani cha tadvidaha. Then, the next one is the Sankhya people. So you see, these are all examples of searching. Exactly like, I think this is a snake. No, I think this is a rope. No, I think it is this. This is exactly what the examples are. So the next one is Guna, I think Guna Vidaha. So the Sankhyas say this is all wrong. Really speaking, there are 3 gunas. Raja, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And when they are in complete equilibrium, then there is no movement anywhere. And when they become out of equilibrium, then world is created, world is sustained, and world dissolves itself. So this is what is called pradhana. So pradhana means one which is the prakriti. This is the nature. This is how it is. And they are right in understanding the nature of the equilibrium, the disequilibrium, all of that we also accept. It is true. But what they say is that is the truth. Pradhana is the truth. And has nothing to do with the Atma. Atma is the Tathastha Lakshanam. And what this means is that in their view, there are 2 forces. One is the natural forces and one is the Atma. And the interaction of them creates everything. Funny theories that they do. And so we said, no, cannot be. This is not true. It doesn't work. The Atma itself, as we saw in verse number, I think it was 18 or 19. Yeah. the number 19, that was kind of like our beginning. He says, Pranadhibhi anantaischa bhavaihi vikalpitaha Maya esha devasya yaya sammohitaha swayam. Remember, we were to use the word swayam means we create the whole thing. And then it becomes prapancha upashama. You cannot say that that means that you are depending on something else. Do not depend on anything. It is like a dream. You're the one that created the dream, and yes, see that how dream also sammohitaha. You get completely taken in by the dream, but then it leaves. And so, no, we cannot say the guna vidaha, that is not acceptable to us, and it should not be acceptable to you. Here, I find Swami Maheshananji is very well read. In fact, he spent quite a bit of time I think he went to Germany, spent a lot of time understanding the Western thinking and so on. So he says that the modern astrophysicists, the first law of thermodynamics, he quotes all this, second law of thermodynamics, are also offshoots of the Sankhyas, the gunas. So they believe in it, and they are specializing in it. Again, the scientists that this, we think we have gone to the very source of life, and this is how it happens, etc. Energy converted into matter, matter converts into energy. We've got it all figured out. Everything is all done. Then Swami Maheshananji says it, that basically in the end he says, do you understand every aspect of it? And he says, no. But there are some things we don't understand. So this is what we are saying. When you say it's something we do not understand, this is kind of like an X factor. Have you solved the equation completely? He says, yeah, we're almost there, but there is one X which we don't know. That means you haven't solved it. And we are telling you from the very beginning that it is insolvable. And you are saying, no, I think I can solve it because I've solved 80% of it. I'm just missing a couple of pieces. Keep on working. That piece will never happen. Anirvachaniyam. Anirvachaniyam means insolvable. You don't need to solve it. And so, anyway, so he says, no, absolutely. Then, tatvaniti cha tadvidaha. So tatvani here means, this is a kind of like a technical term. There are people who feel that there are some truths, and they put some theories according to the tattvas. So, for example, Pashu, Pasha, and Pashupati. These are the three basic tattvas. So, Pashu is the one who is the jiva. And then Pasha means, so it means that when you have a Pashu means is a animal who can be controlled. So Pashu means the animal. Pasha means the whole phenomena of tying down an animal so that it doesn't run away. And Pashupati means the one who is the master of the animal. So they say that this is how we look at the whole world. And so this will come in later on also. This is the most prevailing thinking in everywhere. That the jiva is just a part of the whole thing. I am just very limited. And I am depending upon some forces. And I am under the control of it. I cannot, I'm bound to die. There's no one, I cannot escape death. And so these are the basic tattvas of life. This is the way they believe it. And so similarly, you can even call it anything. You can say the Pashu is the Jiva, Pashupati is Ishvara, and Pasha is Maya. So they say, okay, this is exactly what it is, but they don't feel that the Jiva and Ishvara are one and the same. So the Advaita is missing. So they take a Dvaitic view of that. But what are you talking about? We are always, in fact, remember, I think I told you this one time, Swami Dayanandji, in the very beginning, when he first came, he went to Canada to give some talks. I'm talking about the 70s, late 70s, or maybe early 80s, but 70s. So there, this Hare Krishna movement was very, very powerful at that point. So Swamiji says, I was sitting in the Toronto airport just waiting to catch a flight. So this Hare Krishna person approached him. He says, "You're a Swami?" He says, "Yes." "What's your name?" So he says, "I'm Swami Dayanandji." "Can I tell you something? You are so egotistical and you are spreading egotistical to everything. You are absolutely making a mess of the whole Hindu thing." Swamiji said, "What?" "I'm sitting here." He says, "Yes, you call yourself Ishvara. You are just a single person sitting here in this chair. How dare you call yourself Ishvara?" Swamiji was listening to the whole thing. He didn't say anything, And so their whole view was, this is exactly what it is. This is the Pashupati. You are an animal and you are saying that you are the master? How can you say things like that? So this is a Dvaitic. So this is true up to a certain stage. We have to go through that stage. First of all, you don't know if there is a master. Then you feel that maybe there is a master and there is some system. But this is not the final answer. Advaita is the final stage where you say, my goodness, it's not just that I'm under the control of Ishvara. This whole thing is nothing but a play. I am just believing that I am a Pashu. But really, I am not a Pashu at all. I am something different than that. So that understanding requires much more thinking and living in a particular way. Anyway, that we could do later on. But this is simply how people represent themselves. So now we're done with number 20. So prana iti pranavidaha, bhutani iti ch tadvidaha, guna iti gunavidaha, tattvani iti ch tadvidaha. Then pada iti padavidaha, vishaya iti tadvidaha, number 21. Loka iti lokavidaha, deva iti ch tadvidaha. So let's at least complete number 21 and may not be able to go that. So pada iti padavidaha. So there the central thinking is, pada means a section. Remember in the Mandukya also we saw the Chaturpada and all that. So pada means a section. So these people are full believers in the fact that we are a part of Ishvara, but we're not the Ishvara. So this is called Amsha Amshi, that we are a part of Ishvara. Just like bricks are a part of a house, each jiva is a part of Ishvara. So this is what is called pada iti padavidaha. And they also quote, Swami Maheshanji points out that, in all of these things, they can always quote Vedas. And say Veda also says it, Bhagavad Gita also says it. So in Purusha Suktam it says, Padavasya Vishwa Bhutani Tripadasya Mritam Divi. So he says, see? He says it right. And then in Bhagavad Gita he says, Mama Eva Amshaha Jiva Bhuta. In chapter number 15. Very clear. You also say it. Why don't you just accept it? So this is the view of lots of people, including, as I'm just understanding this What are the people that we are going to the retreat? Brahma Kumaris. So the Brahma Kumaris also believe that we are part of Ishvara. We are connected to Ishvara, but parts of. So because there's some form of Vishishta Advaita also, but we are part of it. So we say, no. It's not true, because we are like the ocean. Can you say that a wave is part of the ocean? If you insist on doing that, fine, I can see the word part. But it is not as though the ocean is made up of small parts. Because then the ocean becomes independent. You see? Then you have the part is bad. You're like a machine. In a machine, one part goes bad. It's very possible that it spoils the whole machine. It's not like that. In the ocean, you cannot say that the relationship of a wave and the ocean is that of parts or anything. It's just an aspect of it. In fact, it stops down, not bottoms up. It's not as though that some bricks have now crumbled and the whole house is going to fall down. It's not a part. Anyway, so that's what it is. Lots of arguments with respect to that. So it's Padavidaha. Then the next one is Vishaya iti tad Vishaha. So Vishaya means, so this is that Vishaya means the things that you enjoy are called Vishaya. So the view here is that there is a Srishti and you have to enjoy the Srishti. Learn to have fun. And so, eating, drinking, music, this is all what life is all about. And just relax and have fun. This is the truth. There is no other truth other than that. There are lots of arguments against. This is not a very highfalutin kind of a thing. You'll say that then how is it? Because is there any finality to it? How long can you enjoy? Don't you see that most of our life is not enjoyment? How can you see this is the truth? It's easily dismissible. Anyway, so Vishaya iti tatvidaha. Then Loka iti lokavidaha. This is an interesting one. Loka means that, so this is mostly given from the Puranas. And also these are the heaven believers, including Christianity and Islam and so on. And what they say is that the individual particles and people and Pashu and this, that or the other, that's not that important. What is important is where you are, what loka you are in. So there is actually a human existence, and then there is a existence of devatas. That your main idea should be to go to those lokas. There you will be taken care of. There you will always be like, there is a belief even in forget about the Islamic belief that you will get virgins and this, that or the other. We have our own versions. They say that you will be in Saket and you will be 16-year-old forever. And you'll have a wonderful body and you'll have so on and so forth. So the whole thing is about lokas. Lokas means places. If you go into that place, then everything becomes very nice for you. It's kind of like, coming to America all of a sudden from India. First time you land here, you said, my goodness, there is no heat, there is no dirt. This is so wonderful. This is the place. Whether you are deserving or not, you may be illegal, but you are here. You are already here. This is why you want to come. So exactly the same thing is there for the heavens. That once you get entry into those lokas, you're done. Your job is finished. How you get there is another matter. Swamiji used to say that. So he used to say that, all these people who proselytize, so they're like travel agents. They're like travel agents. Do you want? If you just sign up for this cruise, I guarantee you'll have lots of fun. So wonderful. So yesterday we were having some I have this such a problem whenever you have these. So I have a gate that is giving a lot of problems, and the gate was all meant for the deer not coming into the garden because I have some things, and because of that the gate had to be installed. Later on we found out that there are home robberies and so on. So to be able to keep people away, a gate is useful. So now we do now have a gate, but the gate has to be open. So they was giving some mechanical problems. So yesterday I had called someone to fix it. So I was just standing there. So these two ladies walk up, and all the way walking all the way up to the driveway. I'm saying, who are they? Anyway, they said, good morning. I said, good morning. Wonderful. How are you? What are the pleasantries and so on? So I says, what brings you here? He says, we are Jehovah's Witnesses and we want to talk to you. So I said, I'm very busy at the moment. Please, no, thank you so much. So these are the proselytizers who say, we want to take you to heaven. And here's what you need to do. I should have really found out some more facts. Okay, what do I need to do? Where do I sign up? Is there any money involved? No, there'll be no money involved. So then what is it that I need to do? Oh, you have to read these books. Maybe. I should have done that, really.
I did that.
Huh? Did that?
I did that once.
You did that once?
Yeah, and finally I said I'm Jewish, so they went away.
So anyway, so this is the Loka Vidaha. This is the Loka Vidaha. What if they were Jewish? No, Jewish people don't proselytize.
I said, I made them, if you read my scripture, I'll read your scriptures.
Anyway, so this is what is called Loka Vidaha. Okay, what's next? Deva iti chatta vidaha. Okay, we'll end with that. This is a long one, but we won't spend that much time. This means your belief is into a particular Devi or Devata. And Swami Maheshananji says, I'm amazed in the number of new Devis and Devatas that are now coming up. He says it's infinite. So now we have Shitala Devi, Bhairavi, and then all these kinds of things. Santoshi, Santoshi Ma, and he even talks about Sai Baba and Bhagwan Rajneesh. And so these are, you just go and the interesting thing is that there is a power of when you submit to something, your mind actually resolves for a while. You resolve for a while that I've found, you go there and there is some peace involved. This is a very interesting thing. I think I told you this, that one of our family members, when she was in college, she was in Cleveland, and she met a boy who was a Christian. And So then her parents said that she is converting to Christianity. So they sent over for her to stay with me for 3 or 4 days. That Vijay Bhai, I think you are a very learned person, and you can tell her how foolish she is, and this is stupidity, and make sure. So she came all the way. I talked to her for a while, and I said, what I found out actually, what has happened is that she the end result is she did convert, and she's very happy, and everybody's very happy. The boy she married is a great person. He's a great addition to the family, and everything is just fine. Anyway, I was talking to her. What I found out was that she really enjoyed going to the church. And that really taught me a lot of things. The quiet nature, the music. And you go to this temple and it is chaotic. The young person, they'll say, what is going on? Because your mind is...
Starting route to 175 North Parkway.
Sorry. My hand just touched that.
You are already going to some other lokas. So this is the thing about the devatas. So what happens is that when you submit yourself to something and your mind becomes quiet, you enjoy it. You feel this is it. This is what it is all about. And then, of course, the whole thing is it final? Is it, does it last? Nothing. This is not real. This is all your own belief system, and you are able to manipulate your mind. That's fine. Anyway, a lot of stuff on the devas. Oh, very interesting. I have to tell you this. So, Swamiji says, let's look at, Swami Maheshananji saying, let's look at your view towards the Devata. What are you saying? So you're saying that, if I pray to Ganesha, then the Ganesha will give me some results. Okay? This is what it is. So Swamiji says, let me ask you, is your submission sapeksha or nirapeksha? Okay? Sapeksha means that your results given to you is a function of your submission. How many times you go, how many times you pray. So this is called sapeksha. So there is an apeksha, means there is a cause-effect relationship. Cause-effect relationship is called apeksha. So is it that, yes, the more you go, how sincere you are, the results will come to you. So this is one possibility. Nirapeksha means that nothing to do with it. You just become, it just is given to you randomly. This is called nirapeksha. So Swamiji says, talk to yourself that when you go to the Ganesha and you submit to Ganesha, is it sapeksha or nirapeksha? We don't think it's nirapeksha, because why will I go? And it's very obvious that means that I can be sitting at home watching television. He will bless me anyway. It doesn't matter whether I go to the temple or not. Sapeksha is the one that I use. Now Swamiji says, how is the sapeksha any different from your servant who you pay to give you a massage? You go to a massage lady and you say, how much is it? And he says, oh, it's $50. $50, that's a lot of money. Okay, will you do a full body massage? He says, yes, full body massage. So for full body massage for half hour, you're wonderful. Then you pay her. So he says that if you go to Ganesha, isn't it exactly the same? that you go to the temple and I expect you to bless me. I'm going to the temple and I brought some flowers and I've got some fruits and I've got, all this, so on and so forth. And I go to the temple and Ganesha. But my eye is that you better bless me. So he says, this is also kalpana matra. This is deva iti tadvidaha. Tadvidaha means that really the truth is how I get rewarded for my submission to the various devas and so on. And so here the issue is all with respect to the relationship with Ishvara. Is it the Ishvara that I am submitting it to, or an independent devata? And so really not here, but in all the other places that I've sent, there is a lot of criticism to this, that you become dependent on a particular devata. That you feel Sai Baba is the one. It has nothing to do with Ishvara, but I want to submit to Sai Baba or to Santoshi Ma or something. And that allows you not to think bigger. That anyway, so that's what it is. So anyway, these are the various, and we will continue with this tour. Then the next one we will see is the Vedas, your association with the Vedas. This is going to be an interesting one. Yeah, we don't. I'll just give you a quick introduction to that. So Vedas means people believe. In fact, my upbringing when I was growing up was this one. Vedas iti tad Veda vidaha. The Veda people believe that it is not the devatas, it is the mantras of the Vedas that bless you. And when I was growing up in Amritsar, so my grandfather, I didn't really, I didn't have a discussion with him because I was not old enough to have a discussion. So I only have some memories of it. But to give you an idea, we never have any vigrahas of in our house. So we never had any of this. Neither did we have any pictures of Krishna or Rama or this is my grandfather's house in Amritsar. But we used to do yajnas and mantras very regularly. And so this is the Veda. The Veda Vidaha means, and say, forget about devatas, forget about Ishvara and so on. You do the mantras of the Vedas. You do Rudram every morning. You do Purusha Suktam. You do all of that. That will bless you. And so then there is a whole set of discussion with respect to this that Swami Maheshananji gives. That we will talk about that for next time. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayana Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yamsho Barahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhantu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritangamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om
you said we are playing roles of
Mhm.
all three
Mhm.
avasthas. So in Sushupti, we don't have any identity.
Yeah.
But then how should we see that we are playing role in Sushupti?
So Shupti means kind of like a rest between the roles, but a rest between the roles, but you are still not in the green room.
Green room.
So when you're in the green room, this is an important thing to see. Actually, is what the question Chawla has asked this question. Just to make sure, I think it is audible, but just to be sure. She says, how come we use the Sushupti Avastha also as a role? Because we are really not, there's no Vyavahara at that point. It is, So the answer to that is also a role because you are not in a green room. So being in the green room means the following. Just look at this. Being in the green room means you are appreciating who you are. So, for example, in the modern parlance, you can say, when you go to the green room, you will take your cell phone out and see if there are any messages for you. Has nothing to do with the roles. This is you as a cell phone. And then somebody says, by the way, your stock went up once, so you feel very happy. The happiness that comes in from is self-appreciation is in the green room. Okay? So when you're not in the green room. Because you don't understand who you are. You cannot appreciate yourself. Only when you appreciate yourself that I am really the Paramatma. That appreciation comes from the fact that you have to see that you were never born, you cannot die, you are complete, you are, all of those kinds of things. That is the green room. That appreciation can only come when you understand what Turiya is. So in that sense, the Sushupti Avastha may be kind of like a rest between but not really understanding yourself in that sense. Yeah, the Advaita is it's work. It's not easy. The whole life has to be viewed from that standpoint, and so all of these kind of so-called belief systems are an attempt to make a shortcut. Here's what happens. You feel, okay, this is the way it is, and I'm tired of, I don't know how to, you're asking me to completely look at the transformation of my life. I'm not sure that I can do it. So in the meantime, is there something that gives me this is exactly like, I don't know if I can solve the disease, but is there some ointment that I can have just to make sure that I'm painless for a while? And they say, yeah, there are ointments. And some of the ointments, they claim that this will cure you, but it doesn't. So really all of these are really belief systems in that way, which give you some partial, some joy, but no. Right?
So because many of these systems are activity oriented, right? So you go somewhere, you do something, you go to a temple.
Yeah.
You do something, you go to a church, you participate in the activities,
Correct.
the sermon, etc. So it's more graspable, right? It's something that after you're done with that activity, you feel like you've completed that aspect of it. So it gives you that temporary happiness, since you feel you belong, and like your
Correct.
cousin or the niece you were talking about, is she goes there, she feels a part of the group, she does certain activities, and it helps you feel good about yourself. And because jnanam is very vague, right? And to get that jnanam is, you know,
Let's
it's
say
vague
that.
in the sense that it's not transactional, right? It's that
No,
knowledge you
it's-
have to
no,
get.
no, I think Rani is bringing up a question. She just to articulate what she's saying, that many of these systems that we are talking about, not systems but beliefs and so on, are something to do, and you have a very specific thing. Whereas, and then she was saying jnanam is vague. So I said no, that's not true. In fact, everything else is vague. Jnanam is not.
Yeah, I mean, I
But
mean
for
it as-
jnanam,
Yeah.
I'm not, I understand what you're saying. You have to do something for jnanam also. You have to do, there is something that you have to, so even for praptasya praptihi, just like losing your keys or something like this, something has to be done to do that.
Take that veil off of ignorance that you're born with, right? Or you acquire after your birth.
Yeah.
In
No, you're already born with it. So the veil of ignorance is already there. So in many of these activities, they are kind of like small lights here and there where you have some temporary, and that's fine. We're not saying that one should not do this. I think the key thing is that the Dvaita, because these are all Dvaita views, is a it's a sadhana but not a sadhya. Sadhya is Advaita. But to get to it, this Dvaita is acceptable in that sense. But if you look at it as the final answer, it's not. Yeah. Yeah.
So us doing this Dakshinamurti Stotram or the puja in the morning
Yeah.
is also part of sadhana, trying to get
Of
to
course,
the
of
final.
course. Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it is important to
Yes, of course.
continue
Yeah.
to submit to a particular
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Nirupeksha.
so I think that, yeah, so you have to, but I think that even in the sadhana, as part of the Advaita Vidya, one should see the ultimate to be one Ishvara, who ultimately will also be nothing but me alone. But I have not reached that stage yet. In the meantime, that's why you say that you do not. So even the devatas it doesn't mean that you do not go to Ganesha, But if you feel that alone will give you the final freedom, that's not going to happen. That might give you some temporary relief and so on. So your end point should be Ishvara. And really you should also see that all devatas are nothing but luminaries of Ishvara alone. Even Hiranyagarbha, as we saw in the initial discussion, is that it's not as separate from Ishvara, it is a creation of Ishvara. Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha means Brahmaji, is also a creation of Ishvara. So the Ishvara has to be kept in mind in all cases. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you next.